It all began with the arrival of a small woman with raven hair and a riveting gaze. She was the daughter of a Russian nobleman who came to town from New York's American Ballet Theater for a stint at the Starlight Theater. Tatiana Dokudovska was her name, and once here, she never left. 25 of her most promising students became the first version of Kansas City Ballet. The company had its premiere performance in April 1957 at the Victoria Theater. The Kansas City Civic Ballet was incorporated as a nonprofit organization with a board of directors and business manager. Kansas City Ballet was on its way. Tatiana remained the artistic director for 20 years. A community grew around the young company. Guest artists and choreographers were brought in, expanding the audience and nurturing the dancers. Mothers banded together to form what is now the Kansas City Ballet Guild, whose mission of fundraising and stimulating interest in the ballet remains the same today. In 1970, the mayor of Kansas City proclaimed a special Civic Ballet Week. In the mid-70s, subscription season tickets were sold for the very first time, and the Kansas City Philharmonic Orchestra played live for performances. Dancers were paid a weekly salary with benefits including medical coverage and point shoes. Tatiana stepped down as artistic director in 1976. The goal had shifted from creating a ballet company in Kansas City to putting it on the map. A national search for an artistic director was launched. The challenge? Convincing world-class talent to plant itself in Middle America. A board member contacted Lincoln Kirstein, director of New York City Ballet. Kirstein's response? I've got your man. You need to talk to Todd Bohlander. Born in 1914 in Canton, Ohio, Todd Bohlander became a protege of George Balanchine and enjoyed a global career that would span 7 decades. In 1980, Todd got the call from Kansas City. He accepted the artistic director position with 2 conditions: live orchestral accompaniment for performances and creation of a school. One of his greatest passions was developing talent. Kansas City Ballet debuted in a gala performance at the Music Hall on May 29, 1981. The Nutcracker premiered in 1981 to capacity crowds. Todd's Nutcracker was performed for 34 years, through 2014. The Kansas City Ballet School was well underway. Todd and Una taught student classes in the evening, after spending a full day teaching company class and rehearsing. By the 1983-84 season, the company was touring in 5 states. In 1986, Kansas City Ballet became the State Ballet of Missouri in a joint venture with Dance St. Louis. Todd's friendship with Alvin Ailey resulted in expanding the company's repertoire to include Ailey's unique dance style. Muriel McBrien Kaufman, longtime friend of the arts and Kansas City Ballet Board chairman from 1990 to 1992, was especially kind to the ballet. Among her many gestures was a 1994 endowment of $1 million. In 1995, at age 81, Todd retired from artistic directorship to assume an emeritus role. In 15 years, he had taken the company from Midwestern beginnings to a national platform. Operating on an annual budget of $2.5 million, Kansas City Ballet now boasted 27 dancers performing a diverse repertoire and a school of 150 students. When Todd Bohlander stepped down as artistic director in 1995, the State Ballet of Missouri's board announced an international search. Their quest led them to William Whitener. Born in 1951 in Seattle, Bill Whitener began ballet training at age 7. A veteran dancer with both the Joffrey Ballet and Twyla Tharp Dance, he had served as artistic director for Les Ballets Jazz de Montreal, followed by Royal Winnipeg Ballet. When Bill came to Kansas City Ballet in 1996, challenges were many and immediate. Dance St. Louis decided to terminate its 10-year relationship with the company, and budget cuts required a reduction in the season's repertoire, live music, and dancers. Bill's A Midsummer Night's Dream was hailed by the Kansas City Star as ballet at its best. Bill also had begun an innovative new program which he called In the Wings to give company dancers a chance to present their own choreography. In 1998, Jeff Bentley joined Kansas City Ballet as executive director and continues in that role today. The following year, an in-school program called Reach Out and Dance, or ROAD, began, introducing fourth grade students to dance fundamentals. In 2000, Kansas City Ballet officially reclaimed its original name, having performed as the State Ballet of Missouri for nearly 15 years. Ramona Panzagrau joined Kansas City Ballet in 2006, becoming the organization's first music director. By 2008, as Kansas City Ballet celebrated its 50th anniversary, debt was zero. The operating budget had grown to $5.5 million, and an endowment of $4.5 million was in place. Finally, after 53 years and 8 makeshift locations, Kansas City Ballet's permanent home opened in August 2011. The Todd Bohlander Center for Dance and Creativity. Executive Director Jeff Bentley remarked that the Bohlander Center is the type of home that artists should have, a place that honors their work, values their sacrifice, and supports their creativity. Excitement continued in 2011 as the world-class Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts opened, changing the face of downtown forever while exemplifying the value that Kansas Cityans place on the arts. Julia Irene Kaufman's steadfast commitment and unwavering generosity, along with countless others, were instrumental to the completion of both facilities.